We're back.
We're back, coming in hot.
That's right. No shit
Chris,
today.
Hey, first and foremost, I want to thank you for jumping in last night on the Pirate broadcast stream. You know, I had not set that stream up, and I'm just going, dang, I have not missed a stream for probably 3 years. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to miss it now. Even the day I broke my hip, the day after surgery, I still had my stream up.
Did you? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, my dad's funeral went live. Boom, everything.
Dedication.
And so I pulled the trigger last night, and it was so good to see you jump on. Even though man. I know it was like late 30 at your place.
It was. I had a late call, with a massive platform.
Yeah.
And we're brokering deals, and we're trying to make some things move. And I just happened to check, and I saw that you were live, and I was actually on my couch, and I was on my iPad is what I was on. I was like, look at Russ. And then next thing you know, of course, the same thing that you do to me when we're on these lives.
Yeah.
We'll light a fire. And next thing you know, I get all hype. And I was like, I was about to pop on. I was like, I'm going to pop on this thing.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And thanks for doing that, man. Because there's so many things taking place. I was just on a live audio for LinkedIn. LinkedIn just launched their live audio platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's coming in the roadmap for 2022 is they're taking what the best practices of what, Lunch Club, not Lunch Club. What is it? Clubhouse.
Lunch Club.
Well, there's another platform called Lunch Club.
Is it? I don't know, bro. Like you being in this industry for 35 years, you know more about this shit than I do. Because to be honest with you, I don't know, man. Just give me a camera. Before, the Women Effect came out, and then I got involved with live streaming. I was the guy behind the scenes, behind the curtains.
Yeah.
So I was never the guy on camera. But when I would shoot content and video content, especially educational courses and platforms, I would walk in, Chris, this is your microphone. This is the audio. This is where you stand. This is where the lighting. Don't put your hands over your head. Yeah. With the lighting or whatever. And I would go. And then I had to, COVID happened. And I had to learn all this stuff. I was like, what? Where is my assistants? I need help. Where's my videographers? But yeah, man, I don't know the names of these platforms, and I don't know, man. I just get on this thing and turn it on. They come and go.
They're all the thing. I think what is really important, though, is we haven't, like I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, is that never before in the history of humanity has there been an opportunity for us to capture, collect, and build communities around a content piece.
100% agree to this.
And, as video evolves and continues to evolve, there's some amazing platforms that are getting launched. There's some opportunities out there that people have not even seen yet. And only because I've been in this arena for, battling it out in this arena for so many years, it's kind of difficult for some people to understand what has taken place. And this is the case with WINJECT. There's going to be people coming after us and saying, what are you guys doing? Why are you doing it?
I'm already catching it, bro. I'm already catching it. I'm not going to drop a name. I'm already catching it. We're ruffling feathers right now by some pretty predominant names out there, and they're getting pissed. You know why? Because they prey off the weak, and we empower those who do not have the clout, the confidence yet. Until we empower them and give them the education they need, it doesn't take a lot of distribution channels to get yourself out there and be seen, be heard, be talked about what you obviously live and die by. Yeah. And the problem is when you're doing things the right way, Russ, you're gonna end up irritating those who are preying off the weak and making money off of those. And it doesn't take $10,000. It doesn't take $20,000 to get yourself in a position where you can be seen, be heard, be talked about. Okay. Yeah. And just because I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm going to do it here. It only took 5 minutes, bro. You already hit it. You already hit a landmine. There's some people out there that are charging $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 to be placed on other shows, to be booked, to sell you mentorship programs. And if you don't do the things that they want you to do, they're going to try to blacklist you. And what I mean by blacklist you, they will not want you to be on their platform because you are not doing what they want you to do. Have you seen that before? I know you have, but it's really difficult for me to sit back as a bystander and allow that to happen to people, good people that are really doing this for the right reasons.
You know what I call that? I call it the curse of comparison.
You have better words for it. I have a lot of beep, 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 beep words. You do a better job. I go beep, 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 beep. What's up, Gabe? My man. Dude, I missed Gabe. Gabe, where are you at? Pop on this thing.
Yeah, pop on the show, man. I should give him a link to the
we'll pop on, bro. Let's talk some shit.
Let's see if he's available. Let's
see if he's not in his boxers right now.
I was just on with him. I was just on with Gabe on a live stream. So here, let me I can't.
And by the way, Nina is phenomenal, Gabe. Of course she is.
Yeah. She was on the show last night as well. So
do I need to give it to? I mean, how do
I got it? I got it. I just got to navigate.
I don't. This is your stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Stay out of
my
game,
Dave.
Man.
What's up, Dave? I call it comments from a scarcity mindset and trying to. Yeah, exactly. You know, Dave, and I don't know you yet, and nice to meet you. Some of these people, me being behind the scenes of some of pretty predominant individuals on event speaking. And I was the guy who was aligning sales, marketing, operation, fulfillment, in which you know my story, Russ, but Dave doesn't know me as of yet. Or maybe he doesn't. Or maybe he does. But when I was exposed to these people for a good 7 years, me writing speeches for these, excuse my language, ass clowns, and they can't, they would always find a way to screw it up. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, they are only surface level because they don't live, breathe, and eat and sleep what they do and what they preach. Okay? And what tends to happen with these people, they don't know how to follow through. And
it's following through. It's the energy that we put out there.
100%, bro. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you do. Okay, there. Yeah, that's who it was. I was like, okay, I've seen that guy. Like, I don't know. I remember all the bald people because we're bald. Hey, yo, when I interviewed Jordan Peterson, I'm gonna be like, yo, sir, we're having a conversation today. You know what I mean? I got some things to say to you. Like, I'm not a normal person that you would have someone come on an interview. Like, yo, we're gonna talk about. I'm coming in hot. I'm like, yo, this is what we're talking about right now. I want to, because he's got a beautiful mind, man. I love the way he thinks.
Yeah. A brilliant mind in a lot of different perspectives that I don't think people take the time to consider.
No. Yeah. Well, because they're not open to different possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, they're only where they can't expand on. Everything is stuck. There's Gabe. What's up, Gabe? Can we add him?
I dropped it in there.
There we go. What's up, Gabe?
What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this thing out. Oh, shit. There it is. What? What? Oh, my gosh. Am I a live streamer now?
You're a live streamer.
What's up, Gabe?
It's official.
That's right.
Add it to the title. Add it to the role. Founder, CEO, all the other good stuff that you got.
Yeah, just a person. I'm just another guy.
Hey, Gabe, I can't believe we caught up on 2 live streams that aren't even ours yet. Must be doing something right, huh?
What's doing Atlanta, Texas? Where's my barbecue, by the way?
Oh, bro, you got it. Okay, I need to send you some from this one place called Off the Bone. Oh my God,
Off the Bone.
Off the Bone is what it's called. You will. Okay, so if it's not from Kansas City or one of these other places where like barbecue is like life, it's not going to compare to anything else. You'll love it.
I miss Austin, Texas, man. Don't even get me started. Salt Lake, you have
Salt Salt Lick is another great location that if you've never had barbecue from there, your world's not complete.
No, you're losing in life. Well, see, I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina, and they do pulled pork.
Oh,
I don't
you
eat
do
pork.
Oh.
I don't eat pork. So I don't eat pork. But the condiments and the sides are better in the South. You got mac and cheese,
Yes.
all the different type of greens and whatnot. But the meat is different. It like Texas barbecue is just where it's at.
Oh, brisket. Oh,
don't. Oh my God, this is so great. This show is not about podcasting and a lot about lives. We're talking about barbecue today. I do know Aaron Franklin's barbecue. I do know him personally.
Oh, okay.
I do know him. He's good. He's actually, man, because I was so interested, I was like, man, what was, show me this. Show me what you do. Dude, Franklin's barbecue, they would sell out by 11 o'clock every morning.
God, yeah, I believe it. And these guys get started. Like at
100%.
2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. in the morning, sometimes overnight, where they're actually, the commitment to what they do is, you can tell there's a labor of love in it, and you taste it.
You want to hear a funny story? You want to hear a funny story? Okay.
Please do.
All right. So I was a director of admissions for this trade school there, Southern Careers Institute. I'm not sure if it's still there or not, but it's only in Texas. So I was there to align the sales marketing, what I do. And this is my last job, JOB, before I went to entrepreneurship. We had like sales competitions, but they weren't sales, they were admissions. So different thing. But the lowest person, if they were a goose egg by Thursday, if they were a goose egg and didn't enroll anyone, the lowest person had to go stand in line from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock to get us brisket. So that was a lot of competition. You know what I mean? So I tell you, man, you got to come up with a lot of creative ways to be able to get your team motivated to enroll people. Like since you suck on the phone and you can't enroll anybody,
you better
go stand in line for 3 hours. Yeah, go get me barbecue. You can't do anything else, right?
And don't forget the sides.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how I met Aaron.
Oh my God!
He told him that story. Like, how do I see you? I'm like, well, I really suck at what I do for a living. My boss sends me here, and that's how we met. Anyways, he thought it was really funny. He was like, "That's amazing."
Great. Well, that's a good
way to motivate your staff when they are not performing. Yeah.
And you want to get somebody motivated, there's always methods. You just got to find the right methodology to kind of.
It's either you go get my barbecue or check the mail. Either or, you can't do both. I'm like, do something. I pay you to do what? Exactly.
So
I get barbecue on Fridays.
so Chris, we got to get some barbecue going here, and also Gabe and I we were on the audio file that I was talking about with LinkedIn Audio now, and he's already added it to his library of content. So we're going to start another adventure to find out how to connect LinkedIn content creators and make sure that they're getting compensated.
So it's only like audio.
Yeah. So this is it's strictly the audio part of it where they're now trying to do where, of course, the explosion of just audio connection, and that has been going rampant since last year and the introduction of Clubhouse and now Twitter Spaces.
How are you sitting in a car and you sound have a better microphone? Do you have microphones in your car? That's a great microphone, whatever that is. Like, he sounds like he's got a high frequency microphone.
Okay, so what I do is I actually look. I look for products that are going to sound good because I have to be able to. Again, if I'm going to be professional about what I got to do, I have
perfect example of why he's a great live streamer.
You have to be able to find methods to do what you need to do and still get stuff accomplished. That's why I said you don't put barriers. You don't do things like this in front of you. I don't like being told
what's up, Russ?
You can't do something. I don't like
being told
that kind of fuels me to say I have to find a way to do it.
You have to figure out a way.
Yeah, exactly.
I live with that same type of understanding where if someone comes to me, what we say with a problem, when they say, well, we can't do that, but don't use that word around me.
Mm-mm.
It's possible. The problem is you you're not exposed to other way of thinking to find a solution. You're only looking at what's wrong. You're not looking for what could be right.
Find a solution or an excuse. It's either one, right?
Well, actually, this is probably why I went into entrepreneurship. I have a thinking bat. It's a baseball bat. Okay. And so Louisville's sitting right over there. I used to carry it around. I used to get a lot of grievances. I'm like, Chris would have beat me with a bat. I never threatened anybody, but I'm like, don't come to me with a problem. Like, don't come to me with stupid stuff, man. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not open to hear the problems, and I would be happy to sit down with you and go, all right, man, this isn't working well. How can we improve it? But I'm not going to get into a conversation about who did what, who stole second, who slept with Sally. I don't care. Like, let's get to some type of best way of course of action to finding out the right method.
Exactly. That's what you have to do. So even if you have to reframe it for somebody who comes along, you say, look, I have a possible solution. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Right. Because even if it's not going to be the answer to the problem, at least you say, I have a possible solution to figure out what I need kind of solved. And I need input, I need advice, or I need guidance on figuring that out.
It opens the dialogue.
It opens the dialogue into finding what you actually need. And that's where I approach every single issue. I don't say problem, but every issue that might arise in doing that and say, okay, here's the possible solution. Let's break it down. Let's look at it from perspective. Sometimes you need another set of eyes, another set of ears.
Oh, 100%. Look at it. Zooming out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you say, okay, now that the issue's been kind of put out there, we're looking at resolution. It's no longer issue. It's looking to resolution and finding a way to get what I need done or getting what needs to be done so that we can move on to the next thing. That's how I always see every single thing in my life, how I operate, how I go. This is what I am and what I do. So this is where I know I will be successful in whatever time period I've framed that I put myself a time period for. I'm going to be successful in what I do, no matter what, because that's the way I think, and that's the way that I. Again,
do you feel that it's something that you have to adopt, or is it something deeply ingrained into you from your subconscious?
It's something that's deeply ingrained because I don't even think about it. Yeah. See, when it's a thought process, when it's something like that then it's the other. But when it becomes just subconsciously that way that you operate, it's something that's been long-term programmed in what you do and how you adapt to things.
Right. I would say also, and I would probably argue with people if they wanted to disagree with the way of the world right now with the sense of entitlement, it's only feeding into the scarcity type of mindset. Exactly. Someone just, you know what I mean? And it's only seeing what's available based upon their own perception of their own reality of their exposure. But if you're looking at, and I can go, man, I'm about to go on a tangent here, but I speak a lot about this, where if they're not open to new possibilities and if you're expecting for things to happen, your expectation is only going to lead you to disappointment or uncomfortableness of understanding where you currently are in your life. And we can relate this to even podcasting or live streaming. When you're looking at, if you're not open to the newest things coming out, like the audio for LinkedIn or different, maybe a microphone for yourself, and like, oh, that's expensive. Well, that's an investment.
Yeah.
You're increasing your experiences of the people that are tuning into you. Don't you owe them, something better? Like, what will keep them coming back to consuming your content if you're not open to different possibilities of increasing your experiences of the people that are trying to consume your content?
Well, that's the cycle of improvement that we all have to consider.
Kalina, what's up, Kalina?
Hey,
sorry. I haven't seen her in a while. Where's she been? You've been hiding, girl. She's been hiding.
Right?
She's been hiding. I saw her a while back on one of the streams. I don't remember which one it was.
But you know what? Everything that we do, whether it's professional, personal, whatever sort of thing, you have to. you have to keep a very clear, open mind about it, because if not, you shut yourself. I always say you shut yourself off from opportunity.
Yeah.
You shut that door, even whether it's intentionally.
Fancy now.
There you go. Whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, when you do that, you shut your door to, again, a world that you may not even know exists, because you don't even let yourself explore what could be out there, what amazing things could be done if you just don't simply, again, that's how people wonder how I get into like certain circles and squares and whatever, however you want to call connection.
Right.
That is how, because
I see you everywhere, bro. Do you sleep, by the way?
I do. So here's the thing is like,
how do you manage? I see him everywhere.
He has 2
everywhere.
So I do have 2 phones. I have a laptop. I have a tablet. I maximize what I do with my time. So when I'm present and when I'm doing things, I am full bore 100%. When the battery's done, I shut everything off. I don't allow myself to like think about all these other things. I shut it off and I wait for when I wake up. Okay, let's go. Let's figure out what I need to get done and move forward. That's how I got to operate, or else I don't function this way. I have to actually do that. I've learned it. I've learned it. If I don't,
you've learned it the hard way.
The hard way, you'll burn yourself out.
I was about to ask, how long have you been this way, or has anything changed, or some type of major catalyst that it made you shift?
So it was the first time that I started getting into doing this in creation and live streaming. Is that when I learned that you have to set a boundary for yourself. It's hard. It's hard
True.
but when you learn to set boundaries for yourself, you get to that point of where things become a lot more clear. You get a lot of more clarity in how you have to operate every single day and how you have to operate everything that you do. So, like I said, once I reach that point, I'm done. Phone's off. Right. Everything's done. I won't exist until I open my eyes the next day, and then boom, let's hit the floor running and let's get going. I mean, I'm up at 3:30 in the morning.
As you know, Chris, there's no checklist that gets finished. There's always going to be another.
There's always going to be.
There's going to be another task on the list. Yeah.
Right. That's why
be open. Yeah, it's being open that tomorrow's another day. I mean, what is your non-negotiables on what needs to happen today, and breaking it off and understanding your productivity of your task. I mean, I see a lot of people that are trying to do what's not needed and a necessity to move forward. Yeah. I mean, there is something that can be done later, like, hey, on this punch list, what are the top 3 things that have to happen today?
Right. Because you get that, again, you get those things accomplished. Okay, then you can start taking care of task 4, task 5, task 6, whatever that is down the line. So again, you just, again, and this is where, like, what I love what Russ does, and hopefully everybody else will start taking into account. You have to find these systems and processes to make these things work for you. Don't overwork yourself. Create a system that you can rely on, that you can harness. And you can actually kind of educate other people who want to learn how to do. I mean, I'm getting people now that say, "How do you do this? How do you have time to put a calendar together? How did you have time to put an everyday live stream together? How did you have all this?" With, again, let me remind everybody, with still a full-time job and 4 kids, how did you do that? I had to learn to find.
That was the key word you just said. Had
to learn to find, if I wanted to continue to do this. I had to find the ways that were going to allow me to continue to do that. So that's why I say I don't leave no stone unturned when somebody mentions something that might be something that I could be using. Heck yes, I go investigate it and go. I'm either blown away and say I have to integrate this in what I use now, and it'll make my life easier. Or you know what, it's not going to work for me, and then I'll just continue to do what I do until I find what will.
Right. Russ is a king of systems, and not to cut you off, a king of systems. And the reason why I say that he's the king of systems, and most people would say that if I don't have a system, I'm not going to be able to operate on my level to be able to delegate and do the things that I'm obviously involved in until I met Russ and realized that was shit. He's got some years on me on that. But we're utilizing the Dub system, which he's certifying. I guess I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Roman or
Ruben?
Ruben.
Yeah.
I haven't met him just yet, but I know that Russ was obviously setting it up. I think he was skiing or something. But this Dub system, and the one thing I love about these systems, it allows you to stay within your zone of genius to do what you need to do. And also, you can pass the visual test pretty quickly with individuals where they have a attention span of a goldfish, 3.7 seconds. You'll lose their attention. And that's one thing I have found about potential customers, potential prospective students. If you don't make it like almost like idiot proof, they're not going to be able to get to that course of action and CTA to be able to go into your system. So when I look at, as an investor for myself, when I'm looking into investing into other companies, I look at the barriers of entry first.
Yeah.
The barriers of entry to me are more important than anything that your product, service, good, t-shirt, popsicle, whatever. What are your barriers of entry? And if I can help you get to the end result, I lost him for a second. I don't know where he went, but we can continue this conversation. But when we look at those barriers of entry, where's the friction? And if we can remove that friction, and that's something that you and I discuss a lot about, where's the disconnect at?
And how can we minimize the friction to get involved and engaged in the process?
Right.
And it's really, sometimes it's not completely clear on what that is initially. So it takes a little bit of testing. It takes a little bit of evaluation. And, you did an extensive beta test on WINJECT.
Oh, yeah, 100%, but I had to.
And it's still continuing to improve. And it depends on who's involved and engaged. And we see new things. And we don't have the ego that it requires us to know all the answers and have all the answers.
Right.
We're still well open to, okay, I could see a new perspective. I could see a new idea. I could see, how to see things differently as we process through this format, and it's evolution. It's continued constant evolution, iteration.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Not to cut you up, but I got a question for you. With you being in this industry and you being exposed to really massive amount of like major brands, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I've learned from some major players, I'm talking about the ones that aren't on Forbes, the ones that really pull strings, and things I learned about them is the patience.
Mm-hmm.
Is learning how to be extremely patient and don't rush the process. Yeah. And it's one thing with WINJECT has taught me through this year of building this process. Every moving part requires special attention from me.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at all the other moving parts to realize and anticipate where there's going to be an issue when you have that many moving parts. Okay. Well, the patient side, but my question, I'm going to go to this. Have you found in the industry when people are moving too quickly and trying to build a company too quickly and trying to scale it just to make money, does that hit on one side of your brain and hold you back on getting involved when they haven't really looked at their product, services, and goods and realize that they're not creating the best customer experience for their buyers?
Well, let me answer it this way. And that's a great question. And I think it's really, I
don't know if it's something on the system side. I'm just curious because for me, when I see a company that just sells me on copy and they're selling me on the experience, and then I get involved and I realize I feel like I had a one-night stand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and realistically, there's a lot of organizations, a lot of people that are involved in promoting a single idea.
Yes.
And what happens is when you invest that without realizing it, without seeing the entire landscape of everything that has to go into it, what happens is you have a piece of the puzzle, but you don't have the entire puzzle. So you always feel frustrated and challenged by, okay, just because I have a website doesn't mean I have a product.
Oh, that's a good point.
So just because I have an email address doesn't mean I have people signing up to my email address. It just because I have a course doesn't mean that I have an opportunity to sell that course because nobody can see me. So the reality is we have to adjust and actually allow ourselves to learn all of these pieces. So whether you're creating these pieces or you're contributing to this creation process, there has to be somebody like yourself that actually sees across all aspects, cradle to grave, the chain of custody between all of these systems. And what takes place is there's a lot of times where people don't necessarily put enough emphasis on one of the pieces. And with analytics and the ability for us to see what takes place, you can see where people stop. And that's where the friction, that's where we talk about.
Why do you feel that they stop?
Well, because they haven't completed something in a way that allows people to continue.
Okay.
Either the messaging fails or the system fails.
Right.
So
Gabe, what do you got?
Well, right. So what you were talking about, we actually talked about this on my show Friday.
Did you? Yeah, because it's a topic that doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think.
So the gentleman I had on, he wrote a book called The Entrepreneur's Paradox, right? Because it was one of those things where, okay, you start off with, usually when you start off with an entrepreneur in a journey, you start off with a skill set, right? It is something that you're very good at, but that skill set might not be particular to growing a business. Right. And that's a very big thing for like a lot of like what we do here in live streaming. There's a lot of, you can have a great skill set. You can be good at production. You can be good at all these other things, but how good are you at growing in an actual business? How good are you at actually being an entrepreneur? Right. Mm-hmm. So you either have to do one of those two things where you either take the time to hop in and becoming an entrepreneur and putting your mindset into that, or you continue to use the skill set and bring somebody in to help you scale to where you
all right
where you need to kind of grow, because again, sometimes it's not always the rule, but there are individuals that can do both. I get that, because there's people that have that entrepreneurial mindset. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household. That's why I mean I went to school for business management and marketing, so I understand why, like, putting together what my skill set is and what I'm doing now and how to actually build and scale something into something much larger. But there's a lot of people that have never taken that journey. So they get to a point where you guys
and they don't have to. You can be a number 2 or number 3 and make just as much money as a entrepreneur out there that is trying to scale a company or provide a solution to a major world problem. There's things out there people are trying to sell, and they just want to become, excuse my language, I'm a curse. They're trying to become a fucking entrepreneur, and they should be a number 2 or number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And forgive those earmuffs out there. Like, remember that movie Old School? Earmuffs. This is a topic where I can go on a tangent. Okay. Yeah. I learned how to be a real entrepreneur by being exposed to entrepreneurs, and I was a number 2 or number 3 at a time. Mm-hmm. Until I kind of got my feet wet a little bit. I was like, okay, I could do it better than this. And you know what? I don't have to have a contract. I can do it on my own. This will be the fourth IPO that I've been involved in. 4th. And I'm not saying that to make it, okay, yeah, it's cool. No, this won't be the last either.
No.
Well, because once you learn that system, you get it right once. Now I know, I don't need to stay over here in sales. Sometimes just Steve Jobs, perfect example. He knows how to run an orchestra. Okay. He didn't need to be the guy that does this or that. He can just sit there and go, din, 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 and he knows how to play the strings.
Yeah.
And some people are good at that. However, some people are good at systems. Yeah, go ahead, Russ.
A lot of individuals, when they get into the entrepreneurial, they're actually being a freelancer, and they're actually creating their own job.
Yes,
they haven't dove into
preach,
the next
brother,
step.
Preach. Preach. I need a button over here. Hit a button. Preach.
But that's the reality, and they don't realize it until they've been into it for a little while.
Right.
And then they say, well, I can't handle it all. And there's nothing wrong with being a freelancer. I've been on both sides.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it's great. It's like, I don't want to manage a lot of people. I don't want to manage a lot of moving parts. I just want to do what I love to do and deliver it to the audience I serve. And that's perfectly acceptable. And when you get to the point, where we're starting to talk about, okay, we need to train producers. We need to train people to actually take on some of these pieces and parts. Then you have to shift your mindset. Like Gabe says, you have to think like an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You have to act like an entrepreneur, and it's a different skill set. It's the conductor versus the musician, and so it's really important for people to understand that not everybody is designed for that transition.
Yeah, you're a Jobs or you're a Wozniak. You're one of the two. You're somebody that either I build the systems, or I know how to manage them and actually know how to actually maximize what they do. I love actually being in the role of being. I want to be the conductor. I want to be the guy that stands at the podium and says, "Okay, let's do this. Let's do that." Because I do love love this part of what we're doing here now, but that's not where I see myself going forward. There's a point where I knew that this is where I need to be. I need to be behind the podium, not being the guy playing the tuba. There's somebody else that can do that.
Well, I see that with podcasting, and I see that with live streaming or whatever, however people like to consume their content. They're so immersed into the day-to-day operations of booking systems, and all the other moving parts when it comes to having a great show. Okay. Well, and they're doing all the other shit, and it shows in their interviews.
Yeah.
They don't even have a great interview, and that's the whole purpose of them having a show. It's kind of like setting up. It's kind of like cooking Thanksgiving dinner, bro. Like a nice gourmet meal and everything. And then when everyone shows up, they throw it away.
Right.
And that was another reason why we wanted to build WINJECT. And I was so passionate about this project. Okay, I'm going to take on everything else and allow you to stay in your zone of genius and have great shows.
Yeah. But not everybody, like I said, not everybody understands it at first.
Oh yeah, I thought I could do it all too.
That's where the game changer takes on a whole new meaning. And once people understand what is actually taking place, it's like, oh, now I get it. It's like, okay, you want songs in a phone, you want to be able to carry things around. Right. It's like, yeah, okay,
right.
We're gonna get there.
Because again, the natural inclination for us is like, oh, they're going to hamper our creativity, instead of seeing it as a way to say, I'm about to let your creativity flourish.
Yeah,
I am about to give you the best thing that you could possibly.
Hell
need.
Yes. Perfect example. Not to cut you off. Perfect example is Dr. Ruth for the Brain Health Show.
Yeah,
I knew when I met her, I was like, holy shit, she will have a phenomenal show if she didn't have to worry about all the other stuff. And if you listen to her show, and I did, I think, the recap show right before Christmas time. I think you were there for that live, Gabe.
Mm-hmm,
and we were talking about it, and she goes, I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. And I'm now watching her, and where I fulfillment from is watching her step into something that she never thought she would ever do. And she's discovering another version of herself. Now she, through the level of confidence of not having to worry about things, she's focusing on her interviews, and she's having very impactful conversations with covering topics that people don't tend to want to talk about, is overcoming trauma and pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a complete example of what community and what your network can do for you if you're willing to trust. The key word there is trust.
Trust
the process, and trusting by people that have been there before and have maybe potentially has suffered from the things that you're trying to run away from or avoid.
Yeah. Two of the best, look, out of the 300 plus episodes that I've done, two of the best that I've enjoyed is when I had somebody else running the strings for me.
Oh hell yes! I can't wait for that shit.
I just got to sit there and go. We're gonna.
What do I do with myself?
I was like, hey, let's
right. What do I do with myself right now? Like what? All I have to do is just show up and have an interview. Okay, great.
Or you have the opportunity when you're on somebody else's show, you're going, I have to slow down. I don't need to ask all the questions.
Exactly. Right. That is the perfect example of like coming on here now. I don't have to worry about clicking buttons and looking at comments. And
that's fun, isn't it? By the way, can you help? I need to go. I'm going to go on a pod tour. I got to get with my manager. I'm going to connect you with Steve. We're doing a bunch of outreach. I had a call today with Dash Radio and doing a bunch of other stuff that I want to be on, and obviously promoting WINJECT. I can't wait for that. That's my vacation, bro, is going on like on a tour. That's my vacation. Now it's built. Russ is going to drive the community. I have all the other moving parts and have other divisions, and they're going to do their thing. Now I can just go talk about it and not have to worry about shit.
Yeah, right.
I say that now, but
that's,
and
that's the cool part about it is that, like you said, I went on my tour a little while ago when I started talking about my group and everything else and what I'm trying to build. It was the best fun because it was like, oh my God, I don't have to worry about prep. I don't have to do anything. I'm coming on there just to be me and to talk about what I'm about to be passionate about.
Right.
And then,
I can do it all day.
Yeah, exactly. Conversations stem so much easier. I'm like, let's talk. How long do I got? An hour? That's it. That's all I get.
That's all I get. Yeah. Like, I'm about to make you laugh for 48 minutes, of that. And then we can talk about me for 12.
Right. Oh, there you go. Exactly.
Like, why am I here? What's the name of this show? Who are you?
Why am I here?
Yeah, why am I here? Like, what do you want me to talk about? Like, that's what, to be honest with you, when I would go speak on stage, they would always ask me to speak on a certain topic, and I would never talk about that topic because by the time I got there, I would gauge the energy and then I would sense what they really wanted me to talk about, and I would hit that. Yeah. Like, I don't even know I'm here.
That's like, they would have a hard time with you at TED Talk. And I would go, okay, listen, Chris, I need you.
Yeah, dude, that's my biggest challenge, bro. That's gonna actually. It was booked. It was booked for 2020, and the pandemic happened here in London. Dude, I was struggling. I was like, what am I gonna do? Stand on a red dot for 10 minutes? Like, can't even explain myself in 10 minutes.
Really? What do I need to do?
Because I'm gonna start talking to the audience because I gauge off of energy. Like, what? Yeah. PowerPoint my ass. Like,
I can't believe it. And speaking of other shows, I got to go jump on.
I got to go too. I'm talking shit for 45 minutes. I'm like, I got to go in 15 minutes.
Daniel Hall, Peekaboo. He's the one that is doing analytics on like LinkedIn live streams. So,
he's like, Chris is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
But that's all we do is talk shit all day. It's fun.
This is the beauty of it, Chris. This is the beauty of it, and what Gabe is doing, and what I've been doing, and what you've been doing. It's all intersecting in 2022 to become this massive media play. And there's so many opportunities out there that I can't imagine somebody not being interested, or at least fascinated by the idea that you can actually create stuff like this.
Right. And just join, and then I'm going to challenge everybody just to join the community just to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 30-day guarantee refund. I mean, you can just sign up and just be like, all right, man, I'm going to sign up for $12 and then we'll see if you like it or not. And then bye. Felicia, if you don't. Like, it's all good to me. It is. I don't take anything personal. I don't take it is what it is. Like, I just want you to have at least to see what's inside of this Joker. Always fun, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just want you to see what's inside this Joker, because once you come in, you're not going to want to leave. I'm telling you, it is massive. We had Shea Hillenbrand, great personal friend of mine. He's a 2-time NBA, MLB All-Star. Man, I love this guy. We have the same type of, like, I don't care what's in front of me, I'm going to win mentality.
Yeah.
He's going to be helping some of the Major League Baseball players transition from baseball to real life. And I think that's program. And that's another course creation that we're going to be doing for WINJECT. And it's just some amazing players, man.
I need to get on there. Okay. So I got a show concept before I get out of here. I got to get on there and do one, because this is one I've been talking about for a very long time. And this is a personal passion project, but I think it'd be the perfect platform to do it on. because it is about something that I want to talk about. That's a very, very deep subject, apart from everything that I talk about, everything that I do. I have a professional persona of what I do, but this is going to be talking about sex.
Okay.
The reason I want to talk about sex is because there's a taboo about being open about all of it, any part of it. When you mention it, people get squirmy. They
different cultures, different,
yeah. And so looking at it from the perspective of where you're looking at it from the trauma side of it and how people can get traumatized because of abuse or whatever, then you can look at the side of it about how you can actually build stronger connection through it. The reason, we appropriate through it, we grow, our society operates from it. So I'm going to look at it from every single perspective and have on experts in talking about each sort of form of how
I got some good connections for you. I got some good connections for you on a psychological type of level of brain health, of the deep parts of the human brain, of when the woman or man or whatever goes to, like, I'm not trying to get weird, but that's even stigmatism off of it, and a reason why the course is going to work, because you feel like you're going to offend people, but it's true. Like, you need to be safe enough and vulnerable enough to be able to surrender, to be able to obviously experience and create that environment to experience that in a certain way with individuals. But I actually interviewed a couple people that perfect example, and I think this course is, and especially the pre-placement courses inside the system on how this has been built, it allows us to not censor individuals. They can truly be themselves. And do you see my point? And to be able to, like, when people sign up for the course creation or people sign up for the community, they pick their own experience. They can be involved in what they want to be involved in. And yes, there's, even for Dr. Ruth's show, there's a disclaimer.
What they want to discover.
Yeah, they can discover whatever they want. It's kind of like going to the video shop back in the day when we were young and not at King anymore, and you had the X-rated one.
Everybody remembers Blockbuster.
Right. You got to do what you got to do, motherfucker. Like,
do I go past that? Yeah. Do I go to the adult part?
Oh,
I was always curious as a kid. I'm like, what's back there?
So that's
some of the things you can't unsee. You know?
Exactly, and that's a big passion project for me, just because I love talking about the thing that some people will find uncomfortable, and I don't want them to be uncomfortable anymore. It's a reality of what we do. We have to live with that.
Yeah,
right. So that's a big part of what I do.
That's a good song, by the way.
I was gonna bring it on LinkedIn, and they were like, "You're gonna do this on LinkedIn?" I was like,
LinkedIn Learning's a good platform, though, bro. But yeah, but you can definitely pigeonhole yourself, because people can get caught in their own point of view, their own opinions about the topic, and then you can easily go into some type of religions or cultures that are not, you know what I mean? And you don't want to put and that's another thing with WINJECT. There's guidelines, and I know that I know we got to go here. I got to go. I'm going to get shot by my assistant here in a minute. Like, she's on a fly to freaking UK, and like, Chris, if you don't,
how long will it take me to set up a show?
Right? Yeah. Well, I think that this platform also, when you have disclaimers and mutual agreements, and obviously non-disclosure agreements when it comes to things that you feel that people need to talk about, and that's what this system has done.
Yep.
Love it. Hey, thank you for inviting me, gentlemen. I really enjoyed
good to see you again.
I know you guys got to run. We all have.
Yeah, I was like, I got two more tonight. I got two more live streams tonight.
So, all right, guys, you guys stay safe, man. Be careful and have a good conversation, man. Have a good time.
Track me down too, Gabe.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
Brother. All right,
man. Peace.
Take care. Bye.
Man, that was fun. I gotta go, man. I'm gonna get shot. I gotta go. I really gotta go. I gotta go.
Same here.
All right, guys. Peace out. Much love.
Kindness is cool and smile is free.
Do all your little tag words and all the stuff. I'm just gonna go get out of here and go get at least a sip of water before my next one.
Bye-bye.
And then not get shot. Let me go hit this buttons. All right, guys. Peace out. Much love.
Podcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.